The Dubai Business Forum returned in early November, welcoming global corporations from different industries to cultivate international networks, forge partnerships, and unlock new opportunities between the different regions. This year's forum attracted over 2,000 delegates to discuss the future of business, international trade, and investments. The Emirati government's main focus was to showcase their D33 target, with a goal to grow 6% per annum in 10 years. We spoke to Mohammed Ali Rashed Buttar, President and CEO of Dubai Chambers, to find out where Africa lies in Dubai's expansion plan.
Africa is one of the most important markets for us, and this is highlighted clearly in D33. Africa, Latin America, and ASEAN are the markets that we should concentrate on the next 10 years to do more business and investment with. If you look at the number of African companies that we have under the umbrella of Dubai Chamber, we have 19,000 active members coming from Africa and around 600 coming from South Africa specifically. We saw growth in terms of trade with Africa. The number of exports when it comes to Dubai Chambers members exports to Africa averaged more than 60%, and it varies from a region to another. But so the southern part of Africa is around 66% growth, and some other parts of Africa around 63%, but the compounded rate is around 60%. So it shows that, Dubai is really a global connector when it comes to doing trade with Africa, due to the strong logistic network that Dubai offers through its airlines and ports, and currently DP World, they manage around 25 ports across the continent. So and Dubai Chambers, especially Dubai International Chamber, we have 7 offices in Africa that cover all regions of Africa from north, east, south, and west. In addition, next week we will be going on an outbound mission, taking a group of companies with us to Africa to do more trade and investment there. We'll start by going to Rwanda and then Kenya. And 2 weeks from that, we'll be going to Ivory Coast and Nigeria. So I can say comfortably around 60% of our outbound mission this year went toward the African continent.
To increase more engagement between Dubai and the African continent hangs on the importance of its access to and from Dubai, namely its airlines.
For us, from a tourism perspective, we work very closely with the private and the public sector. And for us, it's crucial for our line of work. So what we do is we try to work and understand exactly from the airline partners that we're working with where their capacity is coming back from. And we make sure that we are tapping into that opportunity as well to make sure that we are filling those planes and try to offload as many passengers as possible into the city. Because again, let's not forget, Dubai is also a hub connecting one side of the world to the next. So we want to make sure that if they're not point to point, at least we get some stopover and transit traffic coming into Dubai, experiencing the city, and then on their on their way to their journey. But also, then what we do is we try to look at where the markets were prior to the pandemic, right? And we try to instigate or try to encourage to see that is there an opportunity for them to open up new markets where we can see that potential coming back. By new, I mean activating markets that were there active before COVID and not open yet, or not reaching the full capacity yet. Our job is to ensure that there's demand. So by creating more search, shows there's an uplift in terms of the campaigns and the engagement that people get from the activities that we're running, whether it's on social media or digital platforms, or even with the other external mediums that we are constantly working with, whether it's on our own platforms or working with key influencers or opinion leaders, or trying to also work within the business community as well, just to make sure that the resonance of the brand of Dubai is out there. And then we can navigate and see how search is being lifted due to those activities. And if we can show that there's enough of a demand coming through, then we can at least encourage or nudge our partners to activate those markets. What we also do is we work with Dubai airports to see where other opportunities lie. So it could be, for example, local carriers from key source markets, then maybe we can then start working with them and try to encourage dialogue and try to encourage more travel to come through and capacity coming through other platforms as well.
The Dubai Business Forum platform laid the foundation to cover key areas whereby global stakeholders can consider increasing their footprints, from shaping a green future to initiatives to expand investment in the digital economy and technology.
The space sector in the UAE has been, and in particular in Dubai, has been quite a unique one where we're using space as a platform for development, right? Traditionally, this industry has been, a way where different countries compete.
Sure.
But we're trying to really have a developing nation model for it. And we've done a great job in particular with the various satellites program. But in particular, what really took us to the next level are the space exploration programs that purely focus on science, technology, and enhancing the ecosystem as well, and really benefiting and giving back to the scientific community. And that's been led by the Emirates Mars mission and the Hope probe that did that in a very meaningful and novel way. And of course, now with the astronaut program, it's been quite an interesting development,
Right.
and a way where not just the sort of the tech side, but even the ecosystem side, whether it's schools, whether it's society, but more importantly, we're seeing business, we're seeing investors that usually would not look at, outside of US, Europe for space sector investment traditionally are now looking at this part of the world, seeing the potential as well as the growth that currently has happened.
How do you see the digital economy in Dubai progressing, taking this forward? We're talking about the D33. So the next 10 years, how are you planning to grow the digital economy? There have been some numbers earlier. I heard $150 billion. Is that the target that you're looking at?
So when it comes to the digital economy, we're seeing it's one of the fastest growing in Dubai. And what's really fascinating about it is that it touches upon all of the different industries as well, right? Whether you're talking about the real estate market through prop tech. However, the fastest growing and the number one sector within the digital economy is fintech.
Yes.
You're telling me your husband is a fintech entrepreneur. Good news for him. It's the largest sector within the digital economy, but we are seeing it continuing to be so.
Sure.
Over the next year. So as I mentioned, we're seeing it developing, we're seeing it grow. And one thing that we're seeing it, and this has been really a theme of Dubai, is servicing global markets from the city. And so as a result, we are expecting this $150 billion size of an industry within 2030 that can first become a platform for companies around the world that want to explore emerging markets, that want to test new technologies, test new solutions. Dubai is a world in a city. So for many companies that want to experiment solutions prior to actually sending them on ground in different markets, it provides them with that platform to do that, and really then using Dubai's infrastructure as this launch pad for growth.
Every time we've had an advancement in going from horse-drawn carriages to the automobile, that same question came up and created more jobs and more opportunities with smartphones and the advancements of the telecom industry.
Yeah.
I mean, you used to have people that would plug in, connect people that way, and there was concern about jobs being lost by all this automation. What we've seen and what's been proven in history is that whenever we have these breakthroughs, yes, there is a disruption in industry, but there's this new growth and these new markets.
Right.
When you talk about innovators, you're creating a space for more innovation to occur rapidly.
Right. So here, where we are in Dubai is widely regarded as the front runner for any new technology. Their digital economy, they're seeking to double in the next 10 years. What is the kind of buzz that you're seeing around innovations and technology here in the city at the moment? Are there any, path-breaking new ideas that you're seeing as an inventor, as a scientist?
More of what I'm seeing is the message that I'm getting from them is come.
Yes.
Bring the entrepreneurs, bring the subject matter experts, bring the innovators here. We want to create an environment where you have what they coined the sandbox to play and experiment and grow. That's phenomenal. And they openly said, hey, when you experiment, you have failures.
Right.
We get it. We understand. And to hear that from the top is valuable.
The success of global footprint and partnerships relies on several key elements such as regulatory environment, i.e., the ease of doing business in different regions, pivoting with changing times, and funding. Gaining understanding of the current global landscape is of utmost importance.
We have a lot of threats, a lot of very demanding elements in the global economy at the present moment. I will mention, of course, here the green transition, which is so important, which has been, accepted as one of the major issues for all our countries, all our continents. And I take it that it is a symbol that COP28 will take place here in the Emirates, in the United Arab Emirates. We have inflation, which is still there. I am reasonably confident that the central banks will combat successfully inflation, but it is a problem that was highly unexpected, obviously, to the extent that some observers, market participants, and even authorities thought that it would be transitory when it was sustainable.
I think it's really exciting what is happening in Dubai in terms of their growth strategy, in terms of the development that we've seen over the last few decades and how the city has been able to transform itself. I think one of the standouts is that Dubai has been a city of vision, and it's been supported by the capital base that they have. And certainly in terms of the many conversations that we've been having with the likes of Dubai Chambers and some of the other businesses that are present here in Dubai, Africa is a key agenda point in terms of future growth opportunities, particularly given the demographics in Africa, the need for infrastructure, and the opportunity to essentially help to transform the continent. So these are all items that businesses in Dubai are thinking about, but certainly Dubai as a government as well is quite focused on it. I understand that Dubai Chambers has increased their number of offices present in Africa, and I think that then talks to the fact that Africa is seen as an incredibly important and large growth opportunity for businesses that are based here in Dubai.
Sure. As a Pan-African lender, though, where's the money going to the most in the continent from this part of the world?
Look, it's across a number of sectors, right? So there's certainly a big theme in terms of the demographics of Africa. Consumer goods and services, an area of huge interest. Commodities, both in terms of mining and metals as well as agri-commodities. So, for example, Dubai has created the mechanisms through areas like the DMCC and as well as the financial hub that Dubai has become to finance and trade commodities as it relates to Africa, both in terms of imports and exports.
Adjacent to the main arena area was the Deals Hub, specifically allocated for the signing of Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, between regions. This year, the Dubai Business Forum witnessed north of a dozen MOUs. One such agreement was the Luta Biofuels Inc. with Retail Group Atmosphere and the expansion plan to Africa.
I will explain about the company. When we started almost a decade ago. If you look at biofuels in the Middle East, in the Gulf region, it was a bit challenging in 2010 because, we are, let's say, we were like out of the box, challenging the fossil fuel. I'm very happy that this year is called Sustainability Year by our president, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, and we are having a COP28 in a couple of days, weeks. I would like to say our experience and our journey in biofuels, it was very challenging but successful. Successful in terms of changing the mindset of the people. This was, let's say, I would say, the biggest challenge that we had. What we are seeing right now, what we are doing right now, changing the waste into energy, recycling the used cooking oil into a biofuel. Of course, help from the government, help from the regulators, help from the municipalities, of course, So what we did is like we made a demo. We made a demo first in the Dubai city, then we expanded in the UAE, and right now we are very, very happy that to share our experience and knowledge in the Republic of Maldives. So we are joining in the Maldives to recycle their waste, which is the used cooking oil, into energy for their marine buses, mainly the marine buses. If you look at the Maldives, it says more than 2,000 islands. So how they move? They mostly move with the marine buses, and the marine buses are working with diesel engines. So what we do exactly, for them, we recycle the used cooking oil, which is produced in the hotels, resorts of the Maldives, and then, we recycle it into a biofuel. Then we blend it with the normal petro diesel. Sometimes we have 100% mix of biodiesel, which is called B100. And then, we use it in the marine buses. So it will be neutral free.
So what the deal is we are coming together with BioVentures to address an Africa challenge of pharmaceutical deficits. Africa is a net importer of pharmaceutical products, yet the continent needs quite a number of pharmaceutical products. So we've come together with BioVentures to set up facilities in Africa that will supply African pharmaceuticals from produced within Africa.
Right. Yes. Great. And what was interesting in our chat earlier is you mentioned that you started the company, you're the founder, you started it in November 2019. This was just before the pandemic.
Yes.
And you did mention that the pandemic actually helped the business. How do you think that happened? It enabled it, yeah.
It was quite an interesting period because when COVID hit, Africa with its challenges of not accessing medication, everyone was trying to find solutions.
Yeah.
So what can we do? So we had launched our product, Vital Breakfast, which is an immune booster, which also assists with hypertension. So it actually flew off the shelves at the time,
right?
Because it boosts the immune systems, and people were looking for products at the time that actually assist them on their immune systems, and Vital Breakfast played into that. So that was growing into 3 countries: South Africa, Zimbabwe, and Zambia.
Right.
Short space of time.
Sure.
So we managed by the end of 2021, we were in over 100 outlets in Southern Africa, and by 2022, it crossed over into Kenya. So we then, after having done that, we then saw a need to then say we need to put up facilities within these jurisdictions. So which is what has led to this transaction with BioVentures, where we are going to be building, our target is 4 facilities.
Right.
But we are starting off with 2 facilities. One is going to be in East Africa, and the other is going to be in Southern Africa.
I understand that you sign an MOU with Dubai Chambers of Digital Economy, and the point of that MOU is to supply or to import skills outside of Dubai to Dubai as they want to increase that volume. I want to understand your role in this MOU and how this MOU will help make this a reality.
Awesome. So I think the first spot is we don't do the recruitment side. So we assist companies once they find their own talent, but we remove the borders for that talent. So in this case, a company from Switzerland that wants to hire somebody in the UAE or a UAE company that wants to find talent internationally and start hiring them, expanding their workforce anywhere, we remove those borders and those restrictions, doing the compliance, onboarding, payroll for these companies. The MOU part of this is allowing us to work closer with the Dubai Chamber of Digital Economy, and remove those limitations. So we improve incentives, we improve certain discounts, all those kind of things to give that access to the world. So taking Dubai to the world and bringing the world to Dubai in terms of talent.
What's the interest look like for individuals from Africa trying to come in here?
So the beauty of it is that Dubai itself has already footprinted itself as one of the remote working hubs. It is a hub, people want to live here, the lifestyle's great, all those kind of things. And with this, you'll see a lot of interest from Africa that wants to come and live in Dubai. And when they live here, they start getting employed by UAE companies, all that. But they can start getting hired before even moving here. So there's a massive demand for this. And Dubai is one of the first cities to have a remote working visa. So even freelance designers are flocking to move here. 16% of the world already works remotely. And Dubai is at the center line for that. And with this MOU that's signed, we really just increase that drive and make it even easier and more accessible for them.
The Dubai Business Forum concluded by highlighting Dubai's role in creating visionary businesses, tackle important issues in trade and investment, while also looking to the future, starting with COP28. The Emirates' unique position makes the business environment ideal to connect the different regions, and doing so work towards achieving the common goal, reaching D33.
Angola is Africa, in general. It's like 54 states, and Angola is one of the countries that is a Portuguese-speaking country. Our first embassy we just opened in 2004.
Yeah.
So basically, UAE is a new market for Angolans. So what we're trying to do is to show how Angola can be a hub for Africa, in terms of SADC region, and how we as a chambers, as a private sector that work directly with a government can help boost that opportunity.
Right.
So we've been dealing with Dubai Chamber since 2019, and back then we felt like we can learn more with Dubai Chamber, because Dubai Chamber is one of the biggest chamber in the globe, and they have founded in 1965 with more than 345,000 members. So we had the first event was during pandemic. With one of the biggest diamond company called Sodiam and Diamond, with Dubai Chamber and DMCC. So we brought a lot of delegation from Angola to UAE, so they understand deeply what is Dubai, how Dubai they changed in 50 years. Dubai is a globe hub. So what we did, we look at Dubai Chamber not as a sponsor but as a partner.
Right.
Despite of the capability, the experience, but we needed to learn from them. So we've been promoting delegation from Angola to UAE, from UAE to Angola. Then in 2001 we received a note that we will sign a MOU.
Right.
We signed a GBF, it was Global Business Africa here in Dubai, in 2001, after pandemic, and in the presence of two ministers of Angola. The Minister of Economy and Planning, Mario Caetano, was here in the UAE with us. Also the Minister of Industry, the previous Minister of Industry, Commerce and Industry, Dr. Vitor Fernandes.
Right.
So we signed the MOU. The most of the objective of this MOU is to exchange knowledge, to exchange, to see what Angola can help in terms of opportunities, not only in diamond sector.
This is a great development which is happening, because Dubai is the window to African countries. For various countries like India and Indonesia and Thailand and even China. So through Dubai, we could reach all these countries. And of course, the main beneficiary will be Dubai, and this should be properly explored. And Dubai is establishing 50 branches of Dubai Chamber.
Oh, yes.
And that is the reason I think they have found that if we are to develop business with Africa, we need to have our own personal presence, and that is happening. So Africa is excellent opportunity for Dubai to enter into.
We have two different approaches when it comes to helping companies to grow throughout Dubai. The first of all is that we offer to them a concierge service, so we try to help them to have a very smooth penetration to any market that they desire. So what we do is we try to support them in the whole journey from exporting their products or services from Dubai to any market. Same thing applies for investment. Throughout the journey, we try to identify what are the bottlenecks and work with our partners, either chambers of other countries or relevant government bodies to unlock these. If we see a common trend or certain policy that are hindering, we try to work on some policy recommendations with either the government entities here or and try to arrange and coordinate with the relevant partner in other markets. We have a very close relation with the government sector here. Last year, under the policy and advocacy sector, we reviewed around 81 draft laws and policies, and the adoption rate of the government here in Dubai was around 60%. It means that the government really listens to the private sector, and some laws the adoption rate reached 90%. So we apply the same when it comes to the international challenges that are facing companies. We work either with some of them might be processed or operational, so we have great relationship with customs and with all of the relevant parties to really smoothen out the experience for people. And if it is more of a policy recommendation or more of a improvement that requires the government intervention, then we reflect this with the supporting, research and proofs to the government, so we can really give them not only the challenge and the suggestions, even what would be the economic impact if we unlock these challenges and how this will really impact positively in driving more trade.